What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Japan, and we're back with the final tune that I know for sure I have access to, which is to say we're going to listen to a track included in the folder for their Tin Drum album, but which, at least according to the master release page on Discogs, is not on the primary version of the release, or at least the initial version of the release, and that is Life Without Buildings. Now, I'm curious what track this might be the B-side of. Like Still Life in Mobile Homes would seem like a really clever, cheeky candidate, but do let me know where this track showed up. Or maybe it's just on different versions. Again, going through Yazoo and some other groups, including Erasure, I've discovered that versions that came out here in the States were often different, or at least adjusted slightly from versions in the UK and elsewhere. So if that's the case, let me know. But yeah, Life Without Buildings, it's an interesting concept. It speaks to a pre-urban, pre-industrial humanity, and depending on how you define buildings, because, I think in the modern context, you're inclined to think brick and mortar, sandstone, like large structures with foundations in the ground and so on. But humans have been building structures for dwellings and other purposes going back to prehistorical times. But ultimately, yeah, Life Without Buildings would, for certainly us living in the 21st century, be quite a different state of affairs from the way many of us live now. Ultimately, I'm not quite sure what Japan will make of it, and I'm very aware that many of their songs, there's a concept that they build off of or that they play with vocally or lyrically, but it might not necessarily be a thorough exposition of the concept. So let's listen. This is Japan. The tune is Life Without Buildings, and it's a track included in what I think is an expanded folder for the 1981 album Tin Drum. It's got a bit of funk, but it's also exotic, a bit mysterious. It's like parts of the track are climbing over each other. Zombie song. ghostly, childlike. I don't know what was gonna happen there. Oh, how wicked. This is my favorite part so far. It feels a bit more hostile.
I see nothing. I hear everything in my building.
That was in my building. I feel like building may be itself a metaphor, less about humanity as a whole and more personal. That background synth again. The haunted graveyard of the tune. The rhythmic percussion, no relief from the tension-filled, but frightening atmosphere. Just fiercely, like, original, unapologetically experimental. It just feels like so much of Japan's work that I've gone through. Now, I know they have a couple albums before. Is that it? I wondered if there'd be a little extra bit on the end. Recently did a Depeche Mode reaction and was surprised when 30 seconds after I thought the track ended, it came back for a bit. But yeah, ultimately they just have this, fierce originality and this completely unconventional approach to their composition and songwriting. So shout out to them in that regard, though. As I was saying, I know there's a couple albums that I haven't heard, which I've been told are a bit more like post-punk. They're a bit more or less experimental, let's say, a bit more, maybe raw or like rough edge, but not as expansive and esoteric as some of their later work that I've now gone through. So I don't remember in the moment if that's been made available to me. If someone is saying like right now, like, hey, you forgot, I do apologize. But in the moment, I know that the albums that I've been working from that Han Solo made available, it was, whatchamacallit, Quiet Life, Gentlemen Take Polaroids, and Tin Drum. So in any case, I've enjoyed that journey, and this is not a group I mentioned that I knew back when I was younger. So this has been an entirely original deep dive for me. So I've enjoyed the journey. Looking forward to any more Japan we can go through. either way, shout out to all the people who've been following this. It is interesting to me that a number of people who I consider, to be very erudite and knowledgeable in their musical insight, ultimately are interested in Japan and are keen to talk about them. So I do find that to be a telling thing. Nevertheless, let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.